Hello friends. Today we discuss about Lenard's and Alva's observation, right? And the study of photoelectric effect. But friends, first of all we discuss about the Lenard's observation. The question will be like this: explain the Lenard's and Alva's observation, right? So see friends, here there are two metal electrodes which are kept opposite in the evacuated glass tube like this. So you can say that here this is the evacuated glass tube, so this is the free space is there, right? Now friends, this electrode is known as the ammeter. So this is the ammeter, that is denoted by C, right? And this one is known as the collector, that is denoted by A. This is the quartz window. Here we apply the potential drop to the electrode like this. So as shown in figure friends, the two metal electrodes are kept opposite in the evacuated glass tube. One metal electrode, that is known as ammeter, denoted by C, and second metal electrode, that is known as collector, that is denoted by A. Here we apply the potential difference to the electrodes. Now friends, from this quartz window we apply the UV rays. Now what happened? As we apply this UV rays, then incident on the emitter which emits the photoelectrons, right? Now friends, here the collector is kept positive with respect to emitter. So due to this, these photoelectrodes are travels towards the collector. And we know that if the electrons are travel, then there is a flow of current. So here there is a flow of current from emitter to collector. So here from this, Lenard's observed that if there is no UV rays, then there is no flow of current, right? And if the intensity of this rays change, then current will be changed. So friends, this is about the Lenard's observation. Once again friends, I repeat it. As shown in figure, two electrodes are kept opposite in evacuated glass tube. One electrode is known as emitter, that is denoted by C, and another electrode is known as collector, that is denoted by A. Here we apply the potential difference to these electrodes. As shown in figure, from quartz window, the UV rays are incident on the emitter. Due to this, photoelectrons are emitted. Now friends, this collector is kept positive with respect to emitter. So due to this, the photoelectrons start traveling towards the collector. And we know that the flow of current, that is known, the flow of charge, or you can say the negative charge, is known as current. So here there is a flow of current. So from this, Lenard observed that if there is no radiation, then there is no flow of current. If the intensity change, then the current also change. So this is about the Lenard's observation. Now friends, we discuss about the Alva's observation. Right. Now friends, Here in Holgow's observation, the Holgow's join the negatively charged zinc plate to the electroscope like this, right? So Holgow's join the negative charge zinc plate to electroscope. Now we observe that when the UV rays are applied on the negatively charged zinc plate, the charge on the plate start decreasing. Once again I repeat, we observe that as the UV rays are incident on the negatively charged zinc plate, then the charge on this plate start decreasing. Second observation, if the UV rays are incident on the uncharged zinc plate, then the charge on the plate increase. Once again I repeat, as the UV rays are incident on the uncharged zinc plate, the charge start build up to the plate, or you can say the charge start increasing. Third observation, if the UV rays are incident on the positively charged zinc plate, then the charge start increasing on the plate. So these are the observation. Once again I repeat, first observation, Holgow's join the negatively charged zinc plate to the electroscope, and you observe that as the UV rays incident on the negatively charged zinc plate, then the charge start decreasing, right? Second observation, when the UV rays are incident on the uncharged zinc plate, then the charge start increasing. Third observation, as the UV rays incident on the positively charged zinc plate, then the charge start increasing, right? So from this observation he conclude that this zinc plate emits the electron, right? So he conclude that this zinc plate emits the electron, right? And another conclusion is, when the frequency of this radiation is less than the minimum frequency, then there is no flow of current. You observe that. Once again I repeat, if the frequency of radiation is less than the minimum frequency, then there is no flow of current. So friends, the minimum frequency to emit the electron is known as the threshold frequency, right? The minimum frequency required to emit the electron is known as the threshold frequency, right? That is denoted by FO, or you can say mu O, right? So the minimum frequency required to emit the electron is known as the threshold frequency. Friends, you have to remember the definition of this threshold frequency, right? So the threshold frequency is the frequency required to, or you can say the threshold frequency is the minimum frequency required to emit the electron, and this threshold frequency is denoted by mu O, or you can say FO, right? And you have to remember, friends, this threshold frequency depends on the type of the metal, right? So this is depend on the and depends on the type of matter, right? So friends, this is about the threshold frequency. Threshold frequency is the minimum frequency that is required to emit the electron from the surface, right? And it is denoted by FO, or you can say nu, and this threshold frequency depends on the type of metal. And you have to remember friends, most metal like zinc, cadmium, magnesium, this threshold frequency lies in the UV rays and having a short wavelength. Once again I repeat friends, the metals like zinc, cadmium, magnesium, the threshold frequency lies in the UV region which having a short wavelength. And for alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium and rubidium, the threshold frequency lies in the visible region, right? So for the alkali metals, the threshold frequency lies in the visible region, right? So friends, this is about the threshold frequency. Now we discussed about study of the photoelectric effect, right? So friends, see, as shown in figure, once again like this, the two metal electrodes are kept in the evacuated tube like this. This is the quartz window, right? This is the emitter and this is collector, right? Now friends, this electrode are connected to the commutator circuit through which we can able to switch the potential like this. See friends, this is the basic arrangement of this photoelectric effect. You can see here friends, the two metal electrodes are kept opposite in the evacuated tube, and these electrodes are connected to this commutator switch. This is the commutator switch, right, through which we can able to change the potential of this electrodes. Then it is connected to the voltmeter that is used to measure the voltage, and it is connected to the emitter, but this is the micro emitter, and after that it is connected to the potential. Now friends, here from the quartz window, the UV rays are incident on the emitter. Now this emitter emits the photoelectron, right, and travels towards the collector. And we know that if there is a flow of photoelectrons, then there is a current, right? So we already know this concept. Once again I repeat friends, as shown in figure, the two metal electrodes are kept opposite in the evacuated tube, or you can say in free space. One electrode, that is known as emitter, and second electron is known as collector. These electrodes are connected to the commutator switch, micrometer, voltmeter. Here we apply the potential difference. Right. Now, as the UV rays are incident on the emitter through the quartz window, the photoelectrons emit, and these photoelectrons are traversed towards the collector, because here the collector is kept positive with respect to emitter. So these photoelectrons are travels towards the collector. So here there is a flow of the photoelectrons, or you can say here there is a flow of current. Right. Now friends, what happens? So here the different study carries out. First study is between the intensity and current. Right. So here the study carries out between the intensity and the current. So second one, as this emitter, or you can say this electrode changes, if we use the another electrode, then what happens to the current? This study also carried out. Another study is based on the frequency and current. So what happens to the current if we change the frequency of the radiation? So these studies are carried out based on this photoelectric effect. So first one, as the intensity of the radiation increases, right, this is the current. So first study was carried out between the current and intensity, and the conclusion is, as the intensity increase, current also increase. So this is the graph of current and intensity, right? So first study was carried out between the intensity and current. So here the graph will be like this. So we can say that the photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity, right? So once again I repeat friends, as shown in figure, the two metal electrodes are kept opposite in the evacuated tube, or you can say in the free space. One electrode, that is known as emitter, and second electron, that is known as collector. Here we apply the potential difference to these electrodes. These electrodes are connected to the commutator switch, micrometer and voltmeter. This micrometer is used to measure the current, and voltmeter is used to measure the voltage. Here the UV rays incident on the emitter by the quartz window. As the UV rays incident on the emitter, photoelectrons are generated, and these photoelectrons are travels towards the collector, because the collector is kept positive with respect to emitter. So as these photoelectrons travels towards the collector, due to this there is a flow of current. Now different studies carried out based on this experiment. First study is between the intensity and current. Second study between the frequency and photoelectric current. Third, if the wavelength of the rays change, then what happened to the photoelectric current? So this different types of study carried out. So first study is between the current and intensity. So the conclusion is, as the intensity increase, the photoelectric current also increase. So here we can say that the photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity of the radiation, right? So if the intensity increase, photoelectric current also increase. If intensity decrease, photoelectric current also decrease. So friends, this is about the current and intensity. Now friends, we discuss about the effect of the potential, right? Because here we connect the commutator switch to this electrodes, right? So now if the potential change, then what happened to the current, that we discuss. Now friends, see here we know that this collector is kept positive with respect to emitter. Due to this, the photoelectrons are traveled towards the collector. So there is a flow of current, right? So as the potential of this collector increase, we know that the flow of current also increase, right? So if the potential of this collector is increased, then the flow of current also increase. Now friends, if the flow of current is maximum, then if we increase the potential of collector, then the flow of current is known as the saturation current. After that, flow of current is not increase, right? એટલે શું થશે friends, કે તમે અહીંયા આગળ આ જે કલેક્ટર છે, કલેક્ટર તો આપણે પોઝિટિવ રાખ્યો છે, એટલે કે તમે જેમ જેમ પોઝિટિવ ચાર્જ ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરશો કલેક્ટરનો, like flow of current also increase. But હું એવું કહું છું કે જ્યારે flow of current maximum થઈ જશે, right, કે current maximum છે, એ પછી જો તમે પોટેન્શિયલ જે કલેક્ટરનું છે ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરો તો પણ કરંટ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થશે નહીં. ત્યારે જે કરંટ હોય એને આપણે શું કહીશું? સેચ્યુરેશન કરંટ, રાઈટ? સો ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, as the potential of the collector increase, flow of current also increase. But when the flow of current become maximum, and after that if we increase the potential of the collector, then there is no change in the flow of current, and this photoelectric current is known as the saturation current, right? So this is about the saturation current. Now friends, if we decrease the potential of this collector electrode, so what happens? So if we decrease the potential of this collector, then photoelectric current also decrease, because if we decrease this if we decrease the potential of this electrodes, then what happens? So here the repulsive force increase. So if the repulsive force increase, then this electron cannot easily travels towards the collector, because જ્યારે તમે ફ્રેન્ડ્સ પોટેન્શિયલ ડિક્રીઝ કરશો ત્યારે શું થશે? આ નેગેટિવ થશે કલેક્ટર. હવે કલેક્ટર નેગેટિવ થાય, ટ્રાવેલ બી કોણ કરે છે? નેગેટિવ ચાર્જ. તો એ બે વચ્ચે રિપલ્સિવ ફોર્સ આવશે. એટલે તમે જેમ જેમ પોટેન્શિયલ ડિક્રીઝ કરશો કલેક્ટરનું, એમ શું થશે? રિપલ્સિવ ફોર્સ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થશે. એટલે કરંટ જે ઇલેક્ટ્રોન છે એ ઇઝીલી ટ્રાવેલ નહીં થઈ શકે, એટલે કરંટ ડિક્રીઝ થશે, રાઈટ? So the electron which has maximum frequency or enough energy to travel, then it can be travel towards the collector, right? એટલે જેની જોડે maximum energy હશે કે ટ્રાવેલ કરી શકે, તો એ ઇલેક્ટ્રોન ટ્રાવેલ કરશે, એટલે એના લીધે તમને થોડો કરંટ મળશે. એ પછી જ્યારે તમે પોટેન્શિયલ ડિક્રીઝ જ કરો કન્ટિન્યુ, એટલે નેગેટિવ પોટેન્શિયલ થઈ જશે. એ પછી શું થશે? ઇલેક્ટ્રોન ટ્રાવેલ કરશે નહીં, એટલે કરંટ તમને મળવાનો નથી, એટલે કરંટ કેટલો થઈ જશે? 0. તો એ જે પોટેન્શિયલ હોય એને આપણે શું કહીશું ફ્રેન્ડ્સ? કટ ઓફ વોલ્ટેજ, or you can say stopping potential, right? So when the flow of photoelectric current becomes zero, that potential is known as the cut off voltage, or you can say the stopping potential, right? That is known as V0, right? So when the flow of the photoelectric current becomes zero, that potential is known as cut-off voltage or stopping potential. At this time, the maximum kinetic energy, that is equals to EV0. So when the flow of current, or you can say photoelectric current, becomes zero, at this time the kinetic energy is equals to EV0, right? Once again friends, what is the effect of potential? So friends, here once again see, as we increase the potential of this collector, then what happens? The flow of current also increase. But when the flow of current becomes maximum, and if we increase the voltage of the collector, then at this time the flow of current does not change, and this photoelectric current is known as saturation current. Now if we decrease the potential of collector, then the flow of current also decrease, because as we decrease the potential of the collector, repulsive force increase. Due to this, electrons cannot travel towards the collector easily, so current starts decreasing. Now if we decrease the potential of the collector continuously, then the photoelectric current is zero or becomes zero. This potential is known as cut-off voltage or stopping potential. At this potential, electron cannot be able to travel towards the collector, so current will be zero. So when the photoelectric current becomes zero, this potential is known as cut-off voltage or stopping potential. At this stopping potential, the maximum kinetic energy, that is equals to K maximum, is equals to EV0, right? So friends, this is the effect of the potential on the photoelectric current, right? Now friends, if we increase the intensity of the UV rays in this case, then what happens? So friends, as we increase the intensity of the rays, then what happens? So if we increase the intensity from I1, I2, I3, different intensity, right? So what happens? So if we increase the intensity of the rays, then there is no change in the potential, right? The stopping potential will remain same. If we change the intensity, there is no change in the stopping potential. So the graph of intensity versus the potential will be like this. There will be no change in the potential, like this. Right? So friends, if we change the intensity, or if we increase the intensity from I1 to I2 to I3, there will be no change in the stopping potential, right? So these are the different intensity, right? Here this intensity I1, this I2, and this I3. Here I3 greater than I2 greater than I1, right? So if we increase the intensity of the rays, then there will be no change in the stopping potential, and this potential is negative because left hand side is right. Here we decrease the potential, right? So the stopping potential is negative, right? So this is the graph of the intensity and potential, right? So from this we can say that if we increase the intensity of the rays, then there is no change in the potential. So we can say that the stopping potential does not depend on the intensity, right? So friends, you have to remember the stopping potential, or you can say the cutoff voltage, does not depend on the intensity, right? So this is the conclusion from this graph, right? I repeat it. If we change the intensity, there is no change in the stopping potential. So we can say that the stopping potential does not depend on the intensity. Now friends, what happens if we change the frequency, right? So friends, if we change the frequency of the rays, then the stopping potential also change. This is like this, friends. If we change the frequency of the radiation, then what happens? So friends, if we change the frequency of this radiation, first frequency is nu1, second one nu2, third one nu3. So the graph will be like this. Right. So this is nu1, nu2, nu3. Here nu3 greater than nu2 greater than nu1. Right. So this is V01, V02, V03. Right. Minus. So if we change the frequency, then the stopping potential also change. Right. So we can say that the stopping potential is depend on the frequency of the radiation, because if we change the frequency of the radiation, then stopping potential also change. And if the frequency change, then we know that E is equals to HF or H nu. So if the frequency change, then we can say that the energy also change, right? And in this case, the saturation current will remain same, right? So here the saturation current will remain constant in this case, right? So this is the effect of frequency, right? So from this we can say that if there is a change in frequency, then stopping potential also change. So we can say that stopping potential depends on the frequency, right? But in this case, the saturation current will remain same, right? So this is about the study of the photoelectric effect. And from this we can say that if the frequency is greater than the threshold frequency, then electron emission is possible, because we know that the minimum frequency required to emit the electron is known as the threshold frequency, right? So from this study we can say that if the frequency is greater than the threshold frequency, then emission of electron is possible, right? So friends, this is about the study of photoelectric effect, right? So the question will be like this: explain the study of photoelectric effect, or you can say explain the effect of potential Last one, explain the effect of the frequency, right? So this is about the study of photoelectric effect. Okay friends, thank you.